Aries Man in the voice of Chetan D Narain, the author of the book.
I hope you enjoyed hearing the Aries Man in my voice. I am Chetan Narain, the author of this book, and I have sincerely enjoyed knowing more of the negative traits that I have as an Aries man, and I hope I can improve on most of them. I want to take this opportunity in this chapter, and of course again, to thank Mandira to being extremely patient and helping us record this book. Thank Arvind and Rupali Mehra for lending me their studio. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Aries, 21st March to 19th April. Aries Man. King James I once said, "I can make a lord, but only God can make a gentleman." Well, thankfully, God did his bit in blessing us with the quintessential gentleman, the Aries man, charming, attractive, energetic, humorous, and above all, chivalrous. The Aries man is an amalgamation of all good things. A man of action, he makes his presence felt just by his very existence. At a party, you can spot him behind the bar mixing drinks, or at a nightclub, he will be the one bullying the DJ to play his favorite tracks. But wherever he is, you can see people around naturally gravitating towards his charming persona. Aryan men can be categorized in two sets, the aggressive and the passive. While the aggressive kind have a majority stake, almost 80% of them, the passive types are usually quiet, observant, and speak only when spoken to. But if the topic interests them, they too may make good conversationalists. And within the 80%, there are some who have a dark side to them. While they may show benevolent traits like compassion at times, but they are mostly self-centered. I have encountered such Aryan men, and for the record, most of the above and what is written ahead does not hold true for them. How can you identify an Aries man in a crowd? Aryan men are usually bursting at seams with unbounded energy. This energy stems from their ever-flowing ideas and creativity. So that charming guy you spot having an animated conversation with someone or interacting with a group of people is possibly an Aryan. And what will make him stand apart from others would be his sparkling demeanor. A typical Aryan will make himself comfortable in any surrounding. When in his true element, he can discuss even rocket science with ease and grace. But when out of sorts, he is likely to recoil into a shell. If he takes a fancy to you, an Aryan man will be quick to take you under his wing, and you will find yourself on a joyride with a dynamo. He is the one with quick actions and with a quicker mental process to match. What are the key features of his personality? The personality of an Aryan can be defined in one word: passion. He is passionate about everything in life. From his first job to his golden jubilee wedding anniversary, you will never see him being lax about anything. However, he is rather low on patience. He cannot stand procrastination or half-baked jobs. So if you have to keep up with him, you better sprint. An Aryan man is bold, confident, and dead sure of himself, and that includes his way with words. But perhaps the most distinguishing characteristic of an Aryan male is his dominating nature. Even the small percentage of passive Aryans is not completely bereft of this trait. For him, dominance is a term that comprises absolute control, total mastery, and often dictatorial attitude. There is something Herr Hitler-like about his mindset, which coupled with Cynicism makes a rather overpowering personality. Obviously, the next trait he has, or rather what every Aryan wishes to have, is power. No man understands the importance of power more than the Aryan male. He has the ability to use power effectively, but has enough integrity not to abuse it either. However, there are exceptions to prove that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Their inclination to be dictatorial often gives rise to superiority complex, arrogance, and vanity. If you can't emote, you are probably a veggie. This is an axiom Aryans implicitly believe in, as they are highly emotional and expressive people. An Aryan man does not shy away from showing his emotions. Any emotional drama is likely to have a cathartic effect on him, and he believes that crying is a good outlet. So while watching a touching or an emotional movie in a theater, keep a box of tissues with you. They will definitely come in handy. How is he on the following aspects? Appearance. If you understand body language, then spotting an Aryan will be easy for you. An Aries man sports a strong jawline and has fiery eyes. These features foretell his dominating and energetic nature. His egocentric attitude is also evident from his ramrod straight posture and confident gait. The most striking thing about him, though, would be his stylish attire. Aryans are notorious for their fashion fervor. They are not afraid to experiment with different styles, be it their dress or looks, from goatees to clean cuts, and from long tresses to going completely bald. They would try everything under the sun. This characteristic arises from their contempt from everyday things. They are always on the lookout for new stuff. Ambition. Know anyone who is scaling the ambition ladder at breakneck speed? Check out his sun sign. It's probably an Aryan. All Aryans are go-getters. Employee to entrepreneur, no matter what, he will show an extremely sharp mind that is bent on achieving success. With his natural leadership qualities, he finds it easy to take decisions and forge ahead of others. He is also creative in his work. With his innate sense of daring, an Aries man is likely to choose the path less trodden and experiment with unheard of ideas. He will dive headlong into any challenge irrespective of gains. If not for profits, his shrewd business sense will help him to strike a break even at the least. This makes Aryan men smart business people. I have also observed that in spite of successful jobs, most Aryan men will steer towards entrepreneurship. Their ambition, astute business sense, leadership quality, and daring nature are all conducive to entrepreneurial success. This may be because he prefers his independence in decision-making and needs complete control and throttle. Ego and self-respect. Aryan men are egoistic. But this blanket statement doesn't convey the real side of an Aryan. More than being egoistic, he is egocentric. He puts himself before everyone else. His self is his priority. Everything else comes later. He is totally aware of himself and ensures that those around him also sit up and take notice. Conscious of his self makes him put his needs and wants above everybody else's. But at the same time, he also possesses immense humility. He displays his ego only when rubbed the wrong way. His egoistic outbursts are generally in reaction to an action, which to him makes logical sense. Although he is self-centered, he is not selfish. You will find him generous and loving towards his dear ones, but this is somewhat conditional. It follows only if he himself is properly looked after. Responsibility. If you are a parent-to-be, an Aryan boy is what you should wish for. His sense of responsibility at an early age is every parent's dream come true. For example, as a son, he will be aware of the efforts put in by his father, raising the family, and his mother's struggles as a homemaker. With aptitude for independence and the constant hurry they prod themselves into, you will find most Aryan men starting early when it comes to earning their living. Etiquettes. To him, etiquettes top the list of social expectations. With his meticulous nature and eye for detail, he expects everyone around him to behave as gracefully as he does. Given that he is a stickler for manners, he is also extremely chivalrous. He knows how to make women comfortable with his kindness, all real, nothing fake about him. He is also known to show utmost respect to elders and to those who are in the service industry, such as waiters at a restaurant or a staff at a hotel or an airline staff for that matter. What is his approach towards life? The Aryan man is born optimistic. Failures and disappointments can never shake his belief in the goodness of life. He would treat his downfalls as stepping stones to learning the ways of the world and work on improving himself to give it another shot. He is as ambitious as it gets and believes in fighting for what he rightly deserves. Not one to give up easily, you will find him toiling away and putting in earnest efforts if it means providing a better and more comfortable life to his loved ones. How does he score on the following points? Cynicism. Aryans are born leaders, but their leadership comes with a rider of dictatorship, and probably that's why his attitude takes a cynical turn. I believe cynicism is not necessarily a poor quality. After all, it is only when Mahatma Gandhi got completely cynical about freedom that we got rid of the colonial rule in India. What would be unacceptable, though, is to go the Hitler way. With an Aryan, his cynicism makes him want to get things done completely his way. He is forging ahead at breakneck speed like a motorboat whizzing on the surf. Rafts and paddle boats better make way. He has no patience for drones. When he is in such a mood, it is best to stay out of his way. If you wish to intervene, make it subtle. He is most likely to think over your point when in a calmer state of mind. And if your idea or suggestion is good, he will be sincere enough in accepting it and giving you the due credit. Suspicion and jealousy. Aryans are generally suspicious by nature. Although the Aryan man tends to be very trusting, his intuitive temperament makes him equally wary. He is always on his guard and prefers people who manage to win his trust rather than the ones who expect it out of him. His suspicious nature is, however, wholly unmixed with curiosity. He likes to talk, but is not curious about things such as someone's personal life. Let's move on to his next high-strung emotion, jealousy. If there is a demon called jealousy, our man has swallowed it whole. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the Aryan man 9 on jealousy. His jealousy stems from his extremely possessive nature. He allows no room for temptations. While dating an Aryan man, his jealous disposition is a warning signal that will constantly keep you on a high alert. But don't be afraid of this. It is just his additional way of saying he loves and cares. Jealousy is more often than not a byproduct of love. When in love, The Aries man is totally involved. He loves the very idea of romance and will seek to make his affair for his lady love picture perfect. He will amaze you with his energy and drive, and you will enjoy every bit of his wooing. But all fun comes with a tag. In this case, it is an extreme possessiveness. If you're looking for space, you're with the wrong guy. Let me specify that the jealousy part is strictly in a man-to-woman relationship. Dishonesty and infidelity. Dishonesty and infidelity are touchy issues with an Arian man. He is capable of both and is also forgiving if he sees these vices around him. This is in someone other than his own partner. However, once he finds true love, his attitude will have a roundabout change, and he will never be dishonest or promiscuous. He will remain totally committed unless, of course, the romance or passion dies and cannot be revived. Hardships. Before delving further into this, I would like to repeat that an Arian is a go-getter. When bogged down by difficulties, he bounces back with vigor and sets out to get what he wants. He takes hardships in his stride and prefers learning from his mistakes. Success and failure. Like failure, he takes success too in a philosophical way. Because he is a mix of tremendous pride and humility, you will rarely find him discussing or publicizing success. He would prefer getting a genuine compliment or simply an acknowledgement of his work instead of public adulation. I believe no one takes failure as bravely as an Aries man. He counts on failures as experiences. If something is not meant to be, he is capable of coming to terms with it. He is also able to make peace and be content and happy with what destiny has planned for him. How is he as a host? If you're a demanding guest, an Arian's party is something not to be missed. He will go to great lengths to get things right, from crockery to cutlery and from serviettes to glasses. His detail eye misses nothing. His involvement in everything ensures that his guests have no complaints, be it about food, service, or ambience. However, his efforts don't lead to flamboyance. The end result is always upper crust and chic. How is he as a guest? An Arian's meticulous nature can make him a host's nightmare. He is so fond of getting things right that as a guest he expects finesse in everything, but that does not make him a bad guest. In fact, in familiar surroundings, he will blend in seamlessly and will rarely make the host feel the need to take care of him. However, if he is with people he is not obliged to be with, you may see him in his mood swing the other way, making him critical and introverted. How does he handle difficult situations? Since both passive and aggressive type of Arian men are short-tempered, a difficult situation with either of them can get rather tricky. You will mostly catch an Arian in the middle of a heated argument or debate, pushing his point, not relenting till everyone is convinced that he is right. The plus point is that he manages to stick to the subject. Diverting topic will be of no help at all. His ability to reason and persuade is likely to floor the other person and make them shut up. Once the argument is closed, his temper cools off. However, if provoked beyond limit, the quarrel may get stretched, but he rarely holds grudges as his memory for resentment is rather low. After cooling off, he has no qualms about apologizing, sometimes even if he is not in the wrong. I have observed that one reason why he can do this more easily than others is because he always likes to move forward. What is his characteristic weakness? The Aries male has major issues with taking orders. He often takes that as an insult to his intelligence and capability. Exhibiting an aggressive side, when expected to conform to subordination. With his bloated ego, he can at times create unpleasant situations at workplace, leading people to resent or shun him off completely. Moving easily to jealousy, the Aryan does not know where to draw a line, and his casual questions to his partner might take an ugly tone if he pushes it too far. His harsh tone could easily hurt the genuine emotions of an unsuspecting woman, who would want to break away from his controlling environment, hating him for his distrust. These two seem to be his weakness and his characteristic weakness. Is there more to his persona? Very often, with an Aryan man, it's a case of your own weapons turning on you. Cynicism in his nature often turns him to a self-critic. Also, it does not allow him to tolerate criticism from others. Cynical and short-tempered, an Aryan man is usually found to have somewhat less self-control. To combat his cynicism, he takes to meditation, spirituality, and philosophy. This gives him an insight, making him an interesting conversationalist. Aryans are thinkers, dreamers, and achievers. Their approach to life is realistic and practical. They are more emotional than sentimental, but their realism helps in balancing their nature. Being an achiever, an Aryan sets goals and targets for himself, which need not be just monetary in nature. But true to his core temperament, he will do things only his way, else not do them at all. Frank Sinatra's song, My Way, sums up what I'm trying to say. With a strong innovative instinct, he will manage to carve a niche for himself in his career. You will rarely find an Aryan living a regular mundane life. He always aims for the best. Yet the humility in him will make him content with whatever he has. An Aryan man aspires for the best and is humble enough to accept the second best, but his pride would not allow him to accept the third best. The man in question definitely has his priorities right. How should one deal effectively with an Aries man? Here lies the crux of the matter. How should one deal with an Aries man? Given his unbridled energy, pride, deep humility, and emotional nature, dealing with him is no mean task. Grace and diplomacy are two golden qualities that can floor him instantly. He expects people around him, especially his partner, to be graceful and subtle in words and actions. His dominant and towering personality looks for an equal and submissive people. The best way to deal with him is to let him have a field day. Give him space to exercise his own rules and be patient with him. But it is of utmost importance to curb his impulsiveness, as he is likely to go overboard with it. How does he handle money matters? If anyone understands the true value of money, it's an Aryan man. For him, the dollar or the rupee is another piece of printed paper. He is very casual about his money and understands that money is meant to be spent. Do you find these statements contradictory? Actually, they are not. I am not implying that he does not value money. He knows its value and therefore understands that money is only a tool to work with, not the end. For him, money is a byproduct of sincere hard work, not the sole objective of life. Aryans also possess innate talent of making money one way or the other. Being extremely compassionate, they are often found giving generous tips and donations. They are also known for lending money to friends and family. But people can seldom take advantage of an Aryan's generosity, as he is very selective about who can approach him. As he matures in life, he develops a distinct quality to keep favor seekers at bay. How is he on the professional front? On the work front, his dictatorial attitude prevents him from being a good team player. He prefers going solo, especially when it comes to decision making. Since he is a great motivator, he makes for an excellent team leader. Because of his aggressive nature, he likes to have yes sir people around him. But somebody just saying yes sir and not performing would be dealt with effectively. Since his tolerance levels are low, don't expect more than 2 chances of warnings. The third one usually is curt and full of fire rounds. He is kind-hearted, compassionate and generous with money when it comes to his workmates and understands their needs. While he likes discipline, he does not get impressed with number of hours or days put in, and neither does he demand it. He prefers quality and the end product to be delivered. So if your boss is an Arian, it's reason enough for you to rejoice. How is he in various relationship roles? Undoubtedly, his responsible nature makes him an excellent son, although his streak of doing things his way can make him a parental nightmare as well. Extreme possessiveness and his love for romance makes him a good boyfriend or husband. But make no mistakes, he finds it difficult to forgive errors in love, and his emotions are not to be trifled with. As much as he can be a doting husband and a father, he can be equally crude and rude when taken over by one of his mood swings. He wants his children to be well behaved and disciplined. He can be like a child with a child, wrestle with kids or cuddle them, but at the same time, he is a tough father to deal with if you don't live by his rules. At a party, you will often spot an Aryan man talking to everybody. His ability to converse intelligently and take initiative in breaking the ice makes him do this naturally. Since he is capable of sharing his emotions, because he trusts people easily, he has many friends. But this will not be before you have passed his qualifying rounds of trust. As a friend, he is totally dependable. You can trust him with your secrets, but then he expects the same from you. How is he when alone? You will rarely find the Aryan man alone. He needs people around him all the time and prefers company to being alone. His me time generally lasts for 2 to 3 hours only, after which he gets restless. Prone to homesickness, he dislikes traveling alone. On a priority basis, he first wants his family to be with him and then friends, unless the family is not supportive of his social plans. How is he when in love? An Aryan man will never tire of experiencing love. If he fails the first time, he will give the remains of his broken heart and begin again. His love is full of passion, almost mounting to frenzy. He will wheel you around and round in the roller coaster of his emotions until you are puffing with excitement. No half-baked love. He will court you in style and woo you till you are dizzy with his attention. He will never hide his love or emotions. It will be a jolly ride all the way. But of course, there will be bumps and potholes aplenty. An Aries man, especially the aggressive kind, will be as much as a control freak when in love as otherwise. He would want to know everything about you. Don't bother, or should I say dare, to flirt while you are dating an Aryan. He will smolder like lava at the minutest signs of betrayal. And don't get fooled by passive Aryans who appear to be super cool every time. Your mobile phone buzzes with text messages from your male friends, passive or aggressive, notwithstanding, remember, he is the possessive Aryan first. You can expect the same from him too. He is usually committed to a relationship as long as he is actually in love. His attention to you will largely depend on your interest-holding potential. The longer you sustain his interest, the stronger your bond will be. And now here's a tip or two to make your love connection with an Arian an affair to remember. Our Aries man is a hardcore, practical, business-minded, a man of the world. But when it comes to love, he is very much like a character from Jane Austen's novel, or better still, the best creation of Bard himself, Romeo. His idea of romance is the fairy tale kind. He would expect you to be his princess perfect, one who goes to bed in elegant yet sexy nightgowns and wake up with a smile on her face. If he catches you in your hand-me-down pajamas, standing in front of the bathroom mirror, frothing at the mouth with toothpaste, bid him goodbye right away. His idea of lady love is exactly that, a lady in love. And if you can't match up to his standards, all his love will go down the drain, literally. He wants his woman to be extremely feminine and yet independent and strong. For example, he will want his wife to be ladylike on all occasions, but take initiatives in things guys do too, like playing squash or poker. That is because he would like his girl to also be his friend and not miss being with her, just because he has to be with his guy friends. What does he look for in a partner? A strong personality himself. An Aries man would never want a weakling for a partner. Be it casual dating or marriage, he would only be interested in someone who is a perfect blend of femininity and sheer fun. She would also have to sport brains, for intelligent conversation is the only way she can sustain his interest. Dominating in style, he would prefer a partner who knows how to keep other suitors at bay, while giving him undivided attention. In spite of being the guy who turns green at mere mention of another male, the Aries man wants a woman who would be willing to take his inquiries about competition sportingly, allaying his fears with her genuine answers for love for him. He aspires to settle down with someone who would be the perfect wife, mother, and homemaker. He would want someone whom he could flaunt in front of the world while declaring to this entire audience that you are his. While dating him, you should play hard to get. The ram is a fighter. He craves for battles. Nothing could be more fun than challenging him to a game of chase. Top it off with punchline, catch me if you can, and you will have him frantically looking for your phone number. Secretly, an Aryan man wishes for his woman not to agree with him, as much as he wants to have his way. Don't overdo it though, because his ego pride might stop him from pursuing you any further. On your first date, let him do the talking. He likes to take control of things, so let him decide the venue, menu, and the subject of conversation. Once you are both in a certain comfort zone, you can get on with your opinions. An Aryan man will always respect a woman with brains. Just because he is dominating doesn't mean he won't let you have your way. He has a unique way of making his date feel relaxed, and on a first date, you would feel like you've known each other for months or years. Since he is a stickler for decorum, mind your manners carefully. Slurping your coffee or talking unnecessarily won't help. Also dress up your fashionable best, subtle and elegant. The Aries man will appreciate all positive non-verbal vibrations coming from your end, and more so if they are aesthetically pleasing. While dating an Aries man, be sure you don't turn him off by looking at other men. He will not take it well at all. If you think your dating is taking serious and a long-term relationship is a credible idea, then you should know what an Aries man will expect from his girl. While he will charmingly help you put on your coat, Don't expect him to take you grocery shopping all the time. Best way to impress him will be to take the car and drive to the store yourself, and the next time you might find him accompanying you on his own. In short, he does not like to be told. He prefers to do things like that by himself or be asked with a smile. Dating an Aries man can be funny, fulfilling, and out-of-the-world experience. He will go out of his way to impress you, to be with you, and to make you do things his way. While he will dominate every aspect of the dating process, he will do it so charmingly that you won't even be offended by it. For an Arian, holding hands and a long look in your eyes is as much valuable as a kiss. Not one to foray into physical closeness at the first chance, the Aries man will never get intimate unless he is very sure of his love. In short, there are no one-night stands for him. Intimacy without love is meaningless for him, and he is not the kind of a man to waste time on meaningless relationships. If he is convinced that you are the girl for him, he will make sure your passion and fervor matches up to his. But don't let this make you believe that he may not have done some net practice or played a few games before the final match. Compatibility quotient. Compatibility between two individuals depends on various factors and not just on their likes and dislikes. I have often found that persons of similar behavioral traits don't quite hit it off in the long run. For a long-standing relationship, a balance the aggressive and passive traits of a personality is necessary, and more so in case of Arian men. So let's explore and find out. Aries man and Aries woman. 3.5 on 10. An Arian woman is too similar to make her male counterpart make the relationship successful. Even the most passive types from the Arian men and women are dominating and overpowering. In such a case, who would dominate who? Taurus woman. 4 on 10. A Taurus woman will not be able to handle the Arian ego effectively. She is too practical to allow his impulsiveness, and he is too fond of his freedom to like sticking together ideas. Gemini woman. 10 on 10. Gemini Aries can paint the town red with passion, love, fire, or perhaps actual paint, with challenges and adventure at every step, and each one ready for it. This relationship can be loads of fun and full of passionate conversations. Cancer woman. 6 on 10. A balanced relationship can be had with much hard work at both ends. The Arian will need to keep his bluntness in check, while the Cancer girl will have to curb her mothering behavior. Both will have to bring their emotions on a mutual comfort level for the relationship to work. Leo woman. 6 on 10. Great chemistry and a happy match, with full-on emotions thrown in. But a word of caution here. Too much of similarity can also bring the relationship to a dead end. Virgo woman. Not a very happy venture. The Arian will find it difficult to take orders from the preaching Virgo woman. Their personalities are too contrasting to result in a healthy relationship. Libra woman. 7 on 10. If there's something called love at first sight, this can be it. Each will be taken in by the other's intelligence, but for things to be steady, both will have to use patience and understanding. Scorpio woman. 9 on 10. He has all the passion and the masculinity that she is looking for, and she has all the mystery and femininity that he is looking for. So far, a perfect match. Only both may have to add a dash of respect for each other to sustain the relationship. Sagittarius woman. 6 on 10. The Sagittarian woman will share a good deal of her love for adventure and travel, mingled with her sense of humor with the Arian. He in turn will impress her with his creativity and intelligence. This relationship can be for keeps if both are able to keep their bluntness in check. I must add here that if the Aries man is the aggressive kind, the Sagittarius woman will have to be the passive kind to make that match really work. Capricorn Woman, 9 on 10. With the right amount of submissiveness, the Capricorn female can find a perfect match in an Arian. She may find it difficult to handle his ego and dominating nature, but has patience enough to be steady with him. He is able to provide her with emotional and financial security she yearns for, along with a dependable partner in him. Aquarius Woman, 7 on 10. The Aquarian girl has the right amount of independence and femininity to floor the Arian. She will be sporting enough to take his angry outbursts healthily, and he will be able to care enough for her to infuse their relationship with passion. But too much of dominance, which an Aquarian woman displays from time to time, could play spoil sport. Pisces Woman, 7 on 10. This combination can go either way. With the nagging Piscean woman and the sarcastic Aries male, it can be a boat on the rocks, or with the emotionally dependent Piscean and the masculine Arian, it can be a match made in heaven. Famous Arian men personalities: Eddie Murphy, Jackie Chan, Marlon Brando, Arshad Varsi.